An exclusive interview with the DCP party leader, former Deputy President Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you so much for your patience, sir. We've been able to canvass quite a lot of issues. A lot remains, but I'd like you to react to tomorrow's edition of Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard, and the headline will be all about the troubled past. That's what Kenyans will be waking up to tomorrow. As you can see on your screens, Charles Owino, once the unapologetic face of the police, is now President William Ruto's chief communicator, carrying the baggage of his defense of Juang in custody and controversial security crackdowns. Critics see a loyalist as public anger, critics see a loyalist appointed to defend the indefensible as public anger over police brutality, governance failures, and worsening economic hardship intensifies. His biggest challenge will be not speaking for the government, but convincing a deeply skeptical nation that he is speaking the truth. Equally, on page 4, there's a special report dedicated to this particular conversation. Numbers don't lie. Opposition will pick the best to face William Ruto. That's what the former deputy president has said. And we'll get to hear from him on the united opposition and the prospects of picking one single candidate to face off against President William Ruto. But Gachagua, let's start with the changes made by the appointing authority, President William Ruto. We've seen a couple of appointments, key among them the government spokesperson, but equally the competitor, the UDA candidate in the All-Kalau by-election has been posted. I think it's the Nairobi Rivers Commission. What do you make of these changes?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, those changes will amount to nothing. One, that former policeman has been picked to try to deal with the crisis that faces the country on goonism and the role the police have played in killing Kenyans, burning their property and making their lives impossible. So nobody can believe him, because that's the wrong person first. The image of the police is already dented. So bringing a former police officer in itself is self-defeatist. Number two, the image of this government is irreparably damaged. There's nothing the president can do, even if he brings what spin master. Insecurity, goonism, destruction of the education system, the failure of SHA, pending bills, stored projects, fake promises. With an year to the general election, even if he brings what spin master, the people of Kenya have already decided that the president is a failure, he's a liar, he's deceptive, and there's too much corruption. And that is why I have said, he said he's a fundi. We are engineers. We all set himself. You know, if a fundi is not working well, the engineers will decide this food is useless and give him some other work to do. Number three, those changes can change nothing. Okay? The problem is William Ruto. Again, even that new spokesman, what will he talk about? William Ruto comments on everything, himself every day. That's why you find even Isaac Maura, I'm the one who proposed him to that job. He was jobless because there is no opportunity for even government spokesman to say anything on behalf of government. The president himself comments on every topic, every day, yeah? So that even the government spokesman is careful because you might contradict him. Even when you are preparing a statement in the office, he is out there and says something exactly opposite of what had been agreed on. So the change is cosmetic. That guy called Mushina was given Nairobi River Commission. It's unfortunate. I wish he gives him something else. The Nairobi River Commission is a vehicle for William Ruto to persecute the people of Nairobi from the mountain community. That Nairobi River Commission was in my office when I was deputy president. And he did instruct me, we started demolishing people's houses and businesses, and I refused because when we were looking for votes, we gave a promise that we will never demolish people's homes, we will never relocate people without alternative settlement, And when he asked me to supervise demolition of houses within Nairobi River Basin, I said no. If you remember, among the charges that was brought against me in the National Assembly was insubordination, that I refused to participate in the demolition of buildings along the Nairobi River Basin. So this guy from Olokalao, he's just being set up against his people. You know, go and demolish houses belonging to your community so that people can hate him even more. This guy called Mushina was not rejected because he's a bad guy, by the way. Those 5,000 votes he got are people he impacted in one way or another. He's a likable character. And he was rejected because of association. One, giving him a job after he has lost the job is actually spiting the people of Olokalao. What you rejected is what I want. To start with, doesn't matter. It's good for him to get a job because he has a family and he needs to go on with life. I don't have a problem with him getting a job, but I have a problem where he's been deployed. William Ruto is using the works going around the Nairobi River Basin to displace communities, to destroy businesses, to make people homeless, and it's actually targeted at the people from the Mount Kenya region. I can tell you I had a problem with it. So it doesn't matter what changes William Ruto makes between now and the next election. He is the problem. All these other changes are inconsequential. It doesn't matter, he can remove this one, put this one, remove this one, put this one. He is the issue. The people have a problem with him as a person, his style of management, his appetite for public resources, theft of public resources, and the brutal nature of dealing with human beings in terms of killings, extrajudicial killings, and using police goons to kill people. That is where the problem is. So it doesn't matter who he puts in office, he removes this one, as long as he's there, people have a problem.
So, Rigathi Gachagua, at the end of the day, the president repeats time and time again that development track record will speak for itself. We've seen a litany of development projects, including in Mount Kenya region, where you speak so passionately about the resurgence of these Mau Mau roads that had actually stalled for quite some time. Don't you think leaders will be judged by what they've delivered rather than voting based on emotions?
Well, to start with, Olokalao is a classic example. Those development things mean nothing because the intention is not honest. Number two, there is no development that is going on. Mau Mau road stuck after Uhuru Kenyatta left is nothing. Nothing is going on. A few things here and there. Even like now, the road they had started in Olokalao near Ngorika. After the election, the equipment left. And it's that way. Even the transformers in Olokalao were brought from Bere. They had been put in Bere, they were removed and brought in Bere. It is true the president will be judged by his record. It's true. He will be judged his record. Killing Gen Zs, he'll be judged. Abductions, he'll be judged. Goonism, he'll be judged. Sending rogue police officers to kill people, he'll be judged. Destroying free primary education bequeathed this country by Mwai Kibaki, he'll be judged. Destroying Leader Mama bequeathed this country by Uhuru Kenyatta, he'll be judged. The issue of SHA that is not working after destroying a good program of NHIF, he'll be judged. HELB was working, university financing. Even now he's trying to con students that he has directed the big even free education. When there is no mechanism, the budget has already been passed, my brother. There is no financial provision in the budget. It's just another lie. And you know, this man lies without blinking. And he doesn't know that you lie to people today. Tomorrow they call you out. When you say there will be free primary education, the budget for his last budget has already been approved by the National Assembly. There is no provision for free university education. It's a lie. He'll be judged on the lies he has given to the people of Kenya. He will be judged on deception. He will be judged on conning Kenyans when they can see. He will be judged on tribalism. He has given all the major parastatals to his kinsmen. He will be judged on grabbing land. So when he says that people should be judged by their record, it is true. We agree. We'll be giving the people of Kenya his record. Very long record about what he has done against the people of Kenya. how he found institutions that were working, they are all destroyed. How he has undermined the National Police Service, how he has replaced police with the goons, how he has undermined the democratic space, how he killed young people whose crime was only saying they should be heard, how he said people should be shot in the leg. His activities that he needs to be judged on is a long list.
So Gachagua, there's no good that this administration has
Nothing.
done. Aren't you looking at the glass half empty?
He was bequeathed a safe country by Uhuru Kenyatta. It had economic challenges, yes, but there was no goonism. People are free to do what they want. This was a country that was safe. Police were protecting people. Police were not attacking people. Alcohol, illicit brews. You know, they are killing people. This is something that I had successfully done. I had wiped out almost 80% of illicit alcohol. He has brought it back. His record is long and it's true. I agree with you. Leaders will be judged by their public record. We will be giving a list of all the things that you have done, and then the people of Kenya can judge.
Speaking of leaders being judged by their public record, you made some public sentiments not too long ago in respect to foreign or international tourists, and you gave them a caution in terms of coming to Kenya due to this goonism issue. Your message was loud and clear. We've seen Canada perhaps give a travel disclaimer for their nationals who are set to come to Kenya. But your words seem to have irked a couple of leaders, especially those from the coastal region. Statement borders on economic sabotage. Let's listen in.
When you touch our uchumi, we will touch you personally. Yes. Because we can't employ the hundreds of thousands or millions of the young people that work in the coastal line, wakifutwa kazi. Or you have now seen the biggest standalone investment is earmarked for Lamu.
The tourism sector is a whole ecosystem. Within tourism, you get a taxi the international community not to visit Kenya. And this is somebody who wants to lead Kenya. Then we now know that he cannot be able to lead this country. We want to condemn his remarks in the strongest terms possible.
The major sources of income for this particular region and for the country in general to be denied, and that is an element of tourism, is a very, very saddening. You know, when you come up with issues that are so hatred in nature, that by killing the economy of this region.
Nichukue fursa hii kwa niaba ya wenzangu magavana, viongozi hao wote kulani matamshi ya jana ya kiongozi wa DCP. Yeye anakataza watalii wakuje Kenya na anakataza uchumi ama wawekezaji kuja Kenya. Ukisema watalii wasije Kenya, wanaathiri pwani. Kwale, Taita, Mombasa, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu. Tunategemea utalii. Alafu anataka kuzunguka hii pwani, wewe tafuta biashara nyingine, kwa sababu sisi kama viongozi hataruhusu. Sisi tunategemea utalii.
All right, the leaders have spoken. Right of reply. Why are you pushing for economic sabotage?
Four things. I've heard one of those characters there talking about young people and how their livelihood is being threatened. Yet, everybody knows he has destroyed young people in the coast region by selling hard drugs and making sure that young people are zombies. For the longest, everybody knows the role he has played as a drug baron, and he sits in cabinet. It's a shame. Number two, tourism is not just in the coast. It is everywhere. My family owns tourist hotels. I can never do anything to hurt business. I'm a very patriotic Kenyan, but I'm also a truthful and a cautious leader. I don't know how old you are. In the 80s, there was a girl called Julia Ward. Julia Ward was a British tourist, and she was killed in the Masai Mara, and she disappeared, and her body was found dismembered. It destroyed our tourism for 10 years. All tourists across the world, all the international media, all the big dailies, the international papers, put the name of Kenya as a place that is dangerous for tourists to come. It took us 10 years to get back our tourism. I want to be president next year. Tourism is extremely important to this country. It's actually number 2 foreign exchange earner. We need hard currency. Tourism must be protected because it's very, very important. Today, the goons in Nairobi, the goons on Narok Road, the goons in Mombasa, if they killed 2-3 tourists, it will kill tourism for the next 20 years. We will never recover. I am a leader who believes we would rather go slow for a year and protect our tourism. And if the way things are going on in this country, where goons have been let loose by government, they are all over. If Kenyans are not safe, how safe are the tourists? If Kenyans are not safe, how safe are the investors? The other day here in Carnival, there was a workshop of some Chinese investors. Goons descended upon them, took away their phones, took away their money, took away their jewelry, and they were in shock. I'm just exercising caution. Ordinarily, if there were goons, I would have urged the government to stop them, not to cure tourism. But since it's the government that has unleashed the goons against the people of Kenya, I cannot appeal to the same government to stop goonism. All I can do is to caution potential victims of goonism that would have a very serious repercussion to our tourism and our investment. So I am a leader who is being very cautious, saying, hey, there are goons all over. They are wreaking havoc. I've just told you what happened in Thika Road. In Outer Ring, every Friday, the goons line up along the road and steal valuables from Kenyans for 3 hours, and police cannot touch them because they work together. So if they come and accost tourists on their way to the airport, and this matter is reported to the countries of origin, to the international press, and the world decides that Kenya is not safe, yeah, what happens? Canada issued a travel advisory on 13th. I spoke on 19th because they were saying what I'm saying. It's not me. Canada has not spoken after I've spoken. Canada has issued a travel advisory to Canadians to say Kenya is not safe, which is what I'm saying. And these travel advisories will come because all these people, they live here. They have looked at the newspaper. If you looked at the clip on NTV on the attack in Olkalau, these foreigners are saying it's not that they live in a vacuum. What I am saying today is what they will be saying tomorrow. So by me issuing such a strong statement, ordinarily, if President William Ruto had any intention of stabilizing this country to normalcy, because it's not a normal country anymore, we are almost going to Haiti way. He would listen to my statement and know there's danger. I am a patriotic Kenyan, I love my country. I've told you I'm in the tourism industry myself. I cannot hurt business that I practice, but I'm cautious that if a tourist is attacked by these goons, if an investor is attacked, it could destroy our tourism for 20 years. I would rather we have a challenge for 1 year. We get rid of this administration. The first thing we do, we deal with the goons. We dismantle these goons. It will take almost 6 months. We also wind out rogue police officers. We'll have radical surgery of the National Police Service. And by the way, let me put our police officers on notice. We have started very serious documentation. All those people who attacked us in Wetima, we have their record and what they did. When William Ruto is gone home, they'll have their day in court. All those people who attacked people in Olkalau, those who killed those people we are going to bury tomorrow, they'll have their day in court. All commanders, station commanders, and division commanders who allow goons to attack people and they don't take any action, we are documenting. So that, you know, the good thing is criminal acts have no time limit. Even 5 years, 10 years, you'll have your day in court. I want to put on notice rogue officers. And they are just like 5%. I can tell you 95% of officers in the National Police Service are very professional, they are very patriotic Kenyans, they are very disciplined, and they are doing the right thing, but they are being intimidated by Umukomen and Raymond Omolo. But those rogue police officers who agree to be misused, those who killed those 2 young men in Olkalau, You will face murder charges. And you listen to the OCS of Central Police Station. Today, he's charged with murder in court. He took instructions from the DIG, but they were not written. I want to appeal to our police officers. I was a man in uniform. I want to give you free advice. If you are asked by your superiors to break the law, refuse. If they insist, ask them to give you instruction in writing, either through a letter or a signal or a WhatsApp message, and you preserve it. I want to ask our police officers to agree to use 5 documents in the course of their duty. The Constitution of Kenya, the Criminal Procedure Code Cap 75, the Evidence Act Cap 80, and of course the service standing orders that guide day-to-day police operations.
And where's the Independent Policing Oversight Authority?
Now that is the other issue.
In
fact, it's good you have raised that issue. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is supposed to investigate police excesses. We have been attacked several times. We have gone to them, no action. In fact, this one of Central Police Station is the only issue they have taken seriously, and we want to commend them. But Murkomen had connived with the head of public service, Felix Koskei, and actually put IPOA under the Ministry of Interior to supervise how do you get an independent body that is supposed to oversight the police and put it under Interior.
But that move was annulled by the courts.
Yeah, yes. But you can see how mischievous Murkomen is, because he knows he is misusing the National Police Service. And the officers are saying, no, we are unable to carry out some of these covert operations against the law, against the people of Kenya, because we have IPOA, it can take us to court. Then Murkomen says, no, don't worry. That IPOA, I'll bring it under my control. And I want to thank our courts for saying no. IPOA is an independent constitutional commission that must operate independently and oversight the National Police Service. So this Murkomen is a very mischievous character.
So how will you strengthen?
He's one of the greatest mistakes that has ever happened in this country.
How will you strengthen this IPOA? Because independent is just
no,
there.
Even now, even the people in that IPOA, some of them, like the vice chairman, is very close to William Ruto. She's from Kitale. She's called Wanjiku. They are very close. So he cannot be independent. He picked his friends to be in the IPOA. So what we'll do, my brother Rogers, next year, God being gracious and giving us an opportunity to form the next government through the acceptance of the people of Kenya, we intend to strengthen constitutional commissions and independent offices and really allow those offices to function. The IG is supposed to be independent. The minister should only comment on matter policy. Murkomen is commenting on all matters, including operation. That is not his work. He is supposed to make sure they have proper funding. He is supposed to make sure they have developed the right policies in terms of training, in terms of mechanization of equipment, in terms of relating with other agencies. That is his role. But Murkomen every day is commenting on police operation. Who should be arrested? Who has been arrested? I don't know who did what, or can you bring evidence? That is not the work of CS Interior. The National Police Service is supposed to be an independent office to operate independently. IPOA is an independent constitutional office. We would want, when we form government next year, and that's how Mwai Kibaki succeeded. I really admire President Mwai Kibaki. He let everybody be. He let ministers work. He let PSs work. He allowed independent bodies to work. He did not capture parliament. He did not capture the judiciary. He did not capture oversight bodies. He allowed and that is how we achieved very serious economic development. That is how we achieved, growth, economic growth. That is how there was money in circulation in the country.
Okay.
I would want, God being gracious to me and my colleagues, once we form government next year, we would like to take this country back, at least to where Mwai Kibaki left us. Yeah.
I was waiting to hear about issues to do with understaffing, underfunding, because IPOA is really struggling with it. But let's see if, or rather...
they cannot attract funding without working. You know, if they did several cases and people can see they are really oversighting the police, then they can advance a case for funding. Why would anybody want to put money into IPOA? There's nothing they are doing. When our leaders, Senator John Methwa and others were attacked in Kigumo, when I was away in the United States, and they even went to IPOA, they took the vehicles showing the bullet holes, they actually took the cartridges, they took the names of the people who attacked them. It's now 1 year. Nothing has ever been heard about it. It's a toothless body. It's of no use to anybody. To make matter worse, to give the officers comfort, to unleash terror on the people of Kenya, that nobody is oversighting them. That is why Kipchumba Murkomen had secretly connived with the Felix Kosgei and taken it to Interior. I'm happy the courts have reversed that position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a blue code of silence. So much to talk about that. But let's shift focus back to politics, because I'd like your take on the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki. You have been verbally attacking him, holding no buzz, pulling no punches. I think you even referred to him as Mr. Yes Sir, Mr. Soprano, all that. But just recently, we heard you on this week, Monday, if I'm not wrong, ordering for political ceasefire against Professor Kithure Kindiki. We have two sentiments, both from you, before, when political heat was stand up, and on Monday, as I've said. So we just want to compare the two and why the change of heart. Let's listen in.
Unajua huyu Kasongo anatubeba ufala kule kwao, anapeleka empowerment, vijana wanapewa matatu, si ndio? Wengine wanapewa bodaboda, wengine wanapewa posho mill, wengine wanapewa power sol. Hapa kwetu anapatia mtu ya Soprano alete maharagwe. Ni ujinga si ujinga? Ni ujinga si ujinga? Wewe mtu ya Soprano hapana tumiwa na Kasongo vibaya.
Wameanza kumtesa huyo Kindiki hapo, kumkosea heshima. So wewe professor, you are our son. I want to tell you, because you are our son, ukipata shinda hapo mbele, because utapata, welcome back home.
All right, two questions, I think, from those two clips. Number one, you've ordered a ceasefire from...
He is still a flower girl, and but that does not change the fact that he's our son. I say two things. One, I noted that when he was Interior, despite being Ruto's flower girl, he never sent goons and police to fight his kinsmen, the way Murkomen is doing. I noted that, at least, even as his Mr. Sir, he didn't agree to be used by Ruto to fight his own kinsmen. Of course, when I talked that, people said, no, but he killed Gen Zs, which is true. But I said, in matters goonism, he didn't do what Murkomen is doing. Number two, the previous day, he issued a statement to say that the mountain is...
Just hold. So the fact that Gen Zs were killed under his reign is okay.
No, I'm
just that he didn't send to kill his kinsmen?
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying people reminded me that much as he did not say goons, you know, we were discussing goonism. I said Murkomen has reigned terror on this region, and give credit to Kindiki, at least during his time, he did not send goons here to attack people. Then the people told me, but he killed Gen Z. I said, yeah. Then I said, there's a statement he has said that I agree with him. I have been opposed to William Ruto dividing the mountain. He has been using him and Roko to divide Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. So the statement he issued the previous day, he seemed to have changed his mind that it is not good to divide the mountain. And I said, what you have done, Prof, is good. You have started making peace with your people. And I think why he has started making peace with his people is because Ruto has started fighting him. If you listen today, Ruto has released his attack dogs on him. There is a fellow called GK Karaoke, is MP for Dia. He has been promised to be running mate. He has started attacking him. Njuguna Kawanjiko was attacking him today. So I said, in our community, normally what happens? Because